Have you ever wondered why Applebee's is showing up so much in modern SML and why Brooklyn Guy absolutely loves it? For example, in one of the most recent SML videos, Brooklyn Guy's tax fraud, while Brooklyn Guy is filing his yearly taxes with the IRS, Karen checks their bank account balance and notices they got $200,000 from the IRS. And so Brooklyn Guy thinks it was because he filled out his taxes so well that the IRS is rewarding him with $200,000, or he was just saying that as a lie to Karen.
See that? IRS deposit $200,000. Karen, do you know what this means?
The IRS made a mistake and we gotta give them their money back?
No, this means I did our taxes so good, they're rewarding me by giving me $200,000.
Boydie, I don't think they do that.
No, I think I heard about this. I think if you do your taxes perfectly, they give you a bunch of money.
Boydie, I think we should call the IRS and tell them they made a mistake.
No!
And instead of giving the money back like Karen said, or at least using the money smartly, the first thing Brooklyn Guy does is not go and buy more houses or cars or invest the money. No, he goes straight to Applebee's with Karen to talk it over. And in Applebee's, Brooklyn Guy spends $600 while also bragging about the money that the IRS accidentally sent to him.
No. Deserve? Yes. It's not every day the IRS accidentally sends you $200,000 and you keep it instead of giving it back so you can spend it all on Applebee's.
Which shows you just how much Brooklyn Guy truly loves Applebee's, as he spent $600 on food just for Karen and himself. But why does everyone love Applebee's so much? Well, one of the reasons why they might like Applebee's so much is because characters such as Chef Pee-Pee and Karen suck at cooking, and so they have to go to Applebee's to eat. For example, in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's Day Off, when Brooklyn Guy asks Karen what she wants for breakfast, she says she wants to play slap hands with him, but he isn't in the mood. However, Karen convinces him to play, but he burns his hand on the stove when she moves her hand out of the way.
Come on, Boydie, hit it before I can move it out of the way!
My hands!
Oh, Boydie, you poor baby!
Oh, you poor baby. You wanted to play slap hands over a hot stove.
Oh, Boydie, calm down. How about you go sit down, relax, I'll make you breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, Boydie, go relax.
And so she tells him to relax and that she's gonna make breakfast for him, but the plate that she called breakfast consisted of a burned waffle with a raw egg, Vienna sausages with ranch, pickles, and gummy worms, which is really gross. Although Karen was trying her best, but it's really not that edible. And an example of Chef Pee-Pee's cooking is an SML movie, The Bet, where there's a cooking competition and the two competitors are Chef Pee-Pee and Goodman. And when the competition starts, Chef Pee-Pee adds a can of Chef Boyardee ravioli. Goodman adds in some panini noodles, which are more homemade and better ingredients. And then Chef Pee-Pee adds pickles and Goodman adds tomato sauce, which is good. Chef Pee-Pee then adds Captain Crunch and he finishes it by smashing his dish with a mallet.
Crunch it up! What are you doing? Beating you is what I'm doing! Okay, that looks good. That looks good.
And these two examples just show some of the gross meals that both Chef Pee-Pee and Karen have made in the past. And they probably do this quite often as they try to do their best, but they're really not that talented in cooking. And this is why they go out to Applebee's, because it's a nice cheap place to eat and they make consistent food. And so that's why they love it so much. Another reason why they might love it so much is because instead of liking the food, they like the waiter Clarissa. Clarissa used to appear as Patrick and Emily's mom, but recently she's been given more roles in videos, such as a kindergarten teacher and a waitress at Applebee's. And the characters which I think like Clarissa are Brooklyn Guy, Marvin, and Chef Pee-Pee, who have all gone to Applebee's many times, sometimes even inviting their families with them, like Rose, Jeffy, and Junior to eat alongside them. But the reason I say that they're going there for Clarissa is because they secretly like her and go there just to see her. For example, in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's Tax Fraud, after Brooklyn Guy goes to Applebee's, he goes to Marvin's house and tells him about the money that he received from the IRS, and they eventually bring Clarissa with them to Paris.
I think the song was based on them being in Paris.
Where have you been?
Oh, we went to Paris.
France?
Yeah.
And they spent so much money on that trip, with first class tickets, which can be like $10,000 or more, as well as hotels in Paris next to the Eiffel Tower, and spending all that time there and all that money on Clarissa doesn't make too much sense unless they like her. There's also another example of this. In SML movie Boys Night Out, Brooklyn Guy Simmons, Chef Pee-Pee, and Marvin go to different places to have fun, with one of the locations coincidentally being Applebee's. And after they order their food, everyone except Simmons Simmons says that they like her, and since Brooklyn Guy and Marvin don't seem to be happy with their wives, and Chef Phoebe and Simmons aren't married, it makes sense that they'll go to Applebee's just to see Clarissa and maybe even talk to her. However, with Marvin, it's iffy because he's shown that he doesn't really want to cheat on Rose, but Brooklyn Guy has shown multiple times cheating on Karen with different women. And the reason being is that he doesn't like to do anything with Karen unless out of nowhere she turns pretty, as seen in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's New Wife.
I feel like I hit my head.
Karen?
What, Boydie?
What, you're hot.
But I feel kind of cold, actually.
No. You are hot.
Aw, thank you, Boydie.
And I pray that Brooklyn Guy eventually will figure out that cheating is wrong. But another reason why a lot of characters love Applebee's so much is because they always find a way to eat for free at the Applebee's they go to. For example, in SML movie The To-Go Box, the video starts off with Chef Pee-Pee taking Junior, Joseph, and Cody to eat at Applebee's. But instead of Clarissa being the waiter, it's Chives who comes and offers them a to-go box. And while this is happening, Cody complains that his food was raw and throws up. And so Junior asks Chef Pee-Pee how he can afford to take them all out to eat, but then Junior tells him that he can't pay, and so tells everyone to run.
Hey, Chef Pee-Pee, how can you afford to take us all out to eat?
That's the thing, guys. I can't. Run, kids!
So, how are you going to want to pay?
And it wasn't until the end of the video that Chives comes back and beats up Cody, since everyone else was teleported with the to-go box to remote places. Another example is in SML movie Boys Night Out, where Clarissa asks if they'll be paying together or separately. Marvin and Chef Pee-Pee say they were invited, but they didn't bring enough money to pay for their food. So Brooklyn Guy makes up an excuse that there's a shooting, and they have to immediately go attend the situation because they're police officers.
Invited. I didn't even want to come here. I have food at the house. I am a chef. I can cook. Y'all are cops. Y'all got buku cash. Pay for it.
Yeah, I only brought $20.
What's that, dispatch? There's a shooting and kids. Oh no, man, we gotta go right now.
Those two aren't cops.
Yes, they are. They're undercover cops, right, officers?
Yeah, aye, Captain.
Yes. Aye, Captain. Yeah, 3 of us are cops and 1 of us is a pirate, so let's go!
And if in those 2 situations they barely got any punishment or reprimanding for not paying, they'll probably just keep doing it, since Brooklyn Guy and Simmons are sometimes seen to be crooked cops and find a way without paying, but eventually it will bite them. In a future video, I can imagine them getting a bill of like $10,000, just like Brooklyn Guy gave to Marvin in SML movie Jeffy the Psychic.
Oh, sorry that I'm giving you this bill for $10,000 for wasting my time.
With $10,000?
Or maybe instead of trying to get away with stealing, they could be going there knowing the food will be raw and use that as an excuse to pay. However, they haven't really done that. But what is interesting is in both videos, both Simmons and Cody's dishes are both raw. And so what could be seen off camera is that they use that as an excuse because Applebee's always makes their food raw, or at least in the SML universe. And the last reason why a lot of characters love Applebee's so much could be because in other restaurants they've had issues, so they just choose to go to Applebee's instead. For example, in SML movie Cody Works at Red Lobster, Cody gets a job at Red Lobster, and one of the customers is Brooklyn Guy, who orders an endangered baby blue lobster, and so Cody decides to save him, which of course causes Brooklyn Guy to get mad because he wanted to eat it for some reason.
No, I can't do it. I'm gonna save you, little guy.
Where's Cody with my baby blue lobster? Cody! Where's the baby blue lobster? Cody!
Also, where's my baby blue lobster?
He stole it, didn't he?
And that experience could have caused Brooklyn Guy to not want to go to Red Lobster anymore because he wasn't happy with his experience. Another example of the restaurants not being good for the characters is in SML movie Shrek's Endless Cheesecake, where Marvin, Brooklyn Guy, and Shrek get banned from the Cheesecake Factory after Shrek takes advantage of the Endless Cheesecake promotion. And even though it was an endless amount of cheesecake, the owner, Mr. the Cheesecake Factory, finds a loophole to apply the promotion where only humans are allowed to order endless amounts of cheesecake and bans them from the restaurant since Shrek is technically an ogre.
I take you 2 20s, and you leave my restaurant and never come back.
Deal. Sucker, I had an extra 20.
But I'm still hungry for cheesecake.
However, this is discrimination and Shrek is my boy. Let him eat his cheesecake, man. But after having so many issues with both of these restaurants, the only restaurant they could go to now is Applebee's. And if the other reasons are also true, then it means that they grew to like Applebee's and now go there anytime they want to go to a restaurant, since all the other restaurants have given them problems and Applebee's is the one that's consistent. But let me know down in the comments your thoughts on why they love Applebee's so much. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here.